Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2 o'clock stream from Plannercraft. And today we are unboxing and playing with a rather scan and cut stamp starter kit. Now, we've not used this, we've not played with it.
It's literally unboxing on the video.
Literally unboxing on the video, and we're going to give it a go. So anything could happen. Things you will need: obviously the stamp starter kit. You'll need your scan and cut. You'll need a standard tack mat, or a mat. We'll just be using our usual Artistix mat. And you also need the deep cut blade for the CM models. It doesn't actually state for a DX model whether or not this can be used. So not sure.
Carol says, "Oh my God, is that safe? How high is he flying? Hope he doesn't come over Doncaster or I'm in trouble." You're probably in pretty safe hands if he was actually flying. You've flown, haven't you, before?
I have, yes.
So.
A couple of times, yes.
No, we should be okay this end. There's quite a bit of a delay today, I noticed, but...
No, we're not frozen, I'm stationary. Not doing anything.
Okay, so do you want to...
Saying that looks like that camera's frozen.
Hang on. Let me just double check. No, I can see your arm going... Well, you're tapping your foot. Wouldn't occasion where your bad habits, actually. Back off.
No, it's removed.
There you go. Fine.
Okay. That's
There's
broken.
about... No, it's not. There's about 30 seconds delay. Okay.
It's been longer than 30 seconds.
Look.
No. It's catching up with you now. It's proving me wrong.
Should listen to your wife.
Yes. So we're going to do a bit of an unboxing as well. So inside the box, so we'll open at the top. I know this one isn't sealed because I have actually prepped the opening at least. So we take it out, we'll pack it, he says. Here we go, can't even get it out of the box. There we go. So we're going to take it out of the box. We have instructions, which is good because we're going to need those. So we have instructions in many languages. I won't pretend to know what they all are. English, French, Spanish, don't know, Dutch, Netherlands, Italian and Russian. There's only one I don't know, so that's not bad.
Which one don't you know?
PT.
Portuguese? Maybe?
Something like that. So I will keep the English ones to hand, the others...
No, he hasn't learnt that one yet, Tracy, not at all.
What's that?
She says, "Happy wife, happy life," Ian. Haven't you learnt that yet?
Cheeky man. So, inside the box we have a nice little acrylic block to put our made stamp on once we've made it. We have a ink pad, which is sealed by the looks of it. It is.
Yeah.
So a nice black ink pad. We have a activation card for the stamp designs. It says stamp function, but it's not actually the function of it, it's just purely the designs, which we're not going to do because it's not ours. And then we have
3 sheets. Ooh.
Yeah, it would appear we have 3 sheets of stamps to cut. And given that your stamp block is only that big, you'll get probably 3.
You could probably get 5
stamps.
stamps out of a sheet, can't you?
Yeah, easily. So you're looking at about 15 stamps you can create with your set there. So that's not a bad...
It's not a bad little investment.
Not a bad little investment. I don't know how much they are these days, roughly.
I mean, when we got our stamp maker kit, it cost in the region of 70 quid if you bought it at retail at the time, wasn't it?
So
we didn't buy it retail. But if you bought it retail at the time, it was like 70 quid, and for that you had...
I'll leave one sheet out because we won't cut more than one sheet, will we?
Probably not today, no.
So I'll put all the other bits back in the box I don't need.
I have paper and pencil ready for when you measure your sheet as well, so I can know down how big it is and how big your block is.
Well, I'll measure it to the block rather than to the... Where are you going to put it up so you've got the...
I was going to put it up so I could see how big the sheet is on the map.
Okay, my stamp sheet is 150 by 200 millimetres.
Okay.
And the acrylic block is 75 by 100.
75 by 100.
Yeah. And it does say you want to be 5 mil, it says. That's about it.
There you go. Tracy says the stamp activation's got 50 images on it.
Yes.
Let me know, Tracy, whether you think it's worth activating or not. Because I must admit, the only pattern activation I have is the one that I got with the enhanced image tracing, and I wasn't that impressed.
Okay, you want to cut your patterns at least 5 millimetres from the edge of the stamp sheet. And if you're going to arrange multiple patterns, you have to have your pattern interval to 3 or higher from settings.
Okay, so if you're doing it on the machine, in other words.
Yes.
Okay.
So, obviously our first challenge is to create a pattern or create a design.
Well, how about if I do one on canvas, and then you can do one on the machine?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. You can go first.
I guess that was going to be the case, and you need me to go first anyway, because then you can bring it in and then you can add with the pattern interval 3.
Okay, so if you want to get your screen ready, and I'll swap over to Natalie so she's on the right screen.
Hang on, let me swap first.
That's what I said, and I'll let you.
Okay, there we go.
Right.
So Ian's going to be taking over comments shortly.
I can't.
You can't. Okay.
How do you want me to take over comments?
Oh, you got an iPad.
Yeah, but she's also running the camera.
Okay. So, just for a guide for me, I'm going to drop in a square. I'm going to untick the maintain aspect ratio, and I'm going to set this up to my sheet size. So that's 150 by 200. Okay. And I find it useful to do things like this so that you can kind of get a sense for the actual size of things, because otherwise it can be quite misleading when you're designing on screen.
I'm putting one in for the size of your credit block.
So I'm going to bring one in for block. So
75
this 75
by 100.
by 100. And I'll pop it back the other way because I tend to use my landscape. So. Okay. And just help me out. I'll even call it block and sheet. And I'll lock both of those for now. So, what would you like me to design for you to cut them in?
I don't know.
You don't know? Let's go for... Shall we start simple?
Yeah.
Nice and simple. So, I'm going to start off with a square, and I'm going to shrink it down to fit inside my block. Now, bearing in mind what Ian said about staying within, I'm actually going to stay within the edge of my block as well, so that we've got a good amount of pressure that's going to cover the entirety of the stamp. Hopefully making sure that we get as good an impression as possible.
Why don't you do the PC of a Flowercraft logo?
Oh, I could, couldn't I? Actually, I might have to trace it, but let's see if I can find it. La 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 la. That one. Can't remember where I put it. It's probably still on Creative Cloud, isn't it? in there, and oh, I have an SVG apparently, so I can open that. And I'm going to delete everything else other than the PC.
It just fits perfect.
Yeah.
As if you measured it.
Yeah. Just going to shrink it down just a little. There we go. That's quite cool actually there. There we go. And while I'm thinking of it, what I was going to do very quickly is do another one. So again I'm going to grab a square and resize it. And this time I'm going to bring in a circle. What?
Noisy neighbours.
Yeah. Let's go for that one. Just because I just want a flower design. And then if we select those three shapes, go to edit and we can line and align. And I will hide my two guides. And I'll do a quick save just in case. Just in case.
We have every faith in the machine, but
Stamping file.
just in case.
And I'm going to send it via the internet. Okay. Over to you.
Thanks. So, hopefully now you're back with me.
Okay, and I'll be back with you so I can see comments.
So, we need a mat.
Yeah, I guess the inlines wouldn't work, Tracy, because there wouldn't be enough support. It's different if you're using like one of the silicone kits, because they do actually compensate for thin lines. So if you're looking at doing something that's really intricate, you're probably better off looking at something like that. It's quite mucky though, just to give you a heads up.
So, quick clean of the mat, just take all the gunk off. This is an older mat, so I thought I'll risk an older mat rather than the new one that we started.
Tracy says cut the first one first to make sure it works. Nah.
Okay.
Might be a good idea to do a test cut on this one.
Yeah. Remove clear vinyl backing from one side of the stamp sheet.
No, you'd think at this point they decide which side and actually put a logo on it or something so you know which one you're supposed to take off. Let's have a look. There you go. Whee! There. There you go.
So it's just to stick that to your mat. With that side down.
Put it what side down?
The best results, place the stamp sheet on the mat with the clear vinyl backing face up.
Yeah, so
Backing is not needed between the cutting mat and the stamp sheet. Bubbles
Yeah.
between the stamp sheet and the backing do not affect cutting.
Yeah, so in other words, put it up the other way.
No, that way.
Which way?
Yeah.
I can't see which way you've got it from me.
So this bit goes onto the mat.
Yeah, so your rubbery bit goes onto the mat. And
yeah. Have you got it at least 5 mm from that one end?
you can move it where you want it. Just remember to put your pattern interval up. Oh, Tracy says that she weighted her first sheet.
Okay. That's why we have 3 sheets.
We also have the Cricut one, don't we, somewhere here as well. I spotted the other day. So it would be interesting to do kind of a comparison. So might just pop up the Cricut next week and we'll try it on the Cricut too.
Okay, so we have tacked that and adhered it.
You're using the old mat, aren't you?
Huh?
You're using the old mat.
Yeah.
Huh? Brave. I've got the fabric mat. No way it's going to move then.
Right, it says a standard tack mat, so yeah. And I'm going to put the deep cut blade in.
Yeah, Tracy says a sticky mat will definitely help.
Ish.
Okay.
Ish.
No, he's not broken it yet, Carol. Give him time.
Shit. Okay, it says to start on 6. I'm starting on 6. My pressure is still right down. Do I put my pressure up?
Personally, I would start low and work your way up.
Okay, I'll leave it on -8 then, because that's what it's currently on.
Yeah, given that when we first had the machine it was cutting on -2 and now it's gone to -8, yeah.
So.
Yeah, you picked your scene, Carol. Wait for it.
I'm glad you all have wonderful faith in me then. So, pattern. Let's do a test cut first, shall we? Let's cut a square out. Set it. Let's not have it in that top corner. How far down does it go? It goes down to 4, so I can come down a bit. So let's do a test cut down here. Let's take it in 1 inch.
Very true, Carol. Very true.
Perfect. First time.
Now that's just showing off. Oh, calibration's off slightly in. It should be alright. It's not out that much, but it is out.
Yeah, I can see now on this. Do you want me to do it quick or do you want me to leave it?
Go on, do it quick. Tracy says show off. Just make a note of the settings first.
6. Didn't change anything else, it's only deep cut blade and 6. I'll leave it as it is. Can you pass me a sheet of copy of paper?
I can. Yeah, then I'll do that one.
Yeah, don't forget this is a fresh blade as well.
Go on. Use that one.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably end up redoing it anyway, so yeah.
Okay. So, I'm just going to do my calibration quickly.
Yeah. Tracy says Mr. Autoblade's at it again. That's quite cool though. Quite cool. Reminds me a bit of the Cricut ones.
So I'm going to put a sheet of copy of paper on and press go.
While you're doing that, I'm just going to quickly see if I can. This could be interesting. Same video going twice in 2 different places. So Lou says, "Poor Ian, you're so mean to him, Carol."
I think I was going to invite him to the design.
Who, Carol? Are you? That was going to be your wild card, was it?
Right, that's done. I can still use that, it's only cut a little bit off it.
It's only cut a little bit off it.
Right,
I'll put some tape on the back of it, it's fine.
There we go. Reattach. It's not straight at all.
When I handed you that piece of paper, I thought you'd do it upside down, so.
Did you?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any difference, it's still cut part of your design off.
Ooh. Ow! Stop it. Squeaking right down my ear. Apologies for the high-pitched squeak if you could hear that. I think there's a few dogs that could hear that.
Right, so that's done. So let's go back. Okay. Let's clear my screen. Pattern off the Tinternet. Okay, so we have our background scan. Catch. They look okay. You want me to set pattern interval to 3, don't you?
Mm-hmm. That's what it says. Just do what the instructions say. Doesn't have to be very fun, does it?
No, it doesn't mean to make them.
But the question is, has he got clogs on?
Little meal, sweet clothes.
I like it. Come in, clippity clog buns.
So we're cutting them both out in one go.
Yeah. You might just want to move one over the.
There's a bit of a gap.
Is there?
Yeah.
Are you going to add one on there as well so that you can?
I might do that one after. I'm trying to try these two first.
But then your pattern interval won't work then, will it? Because it's not then going to something else on the mat.
No.
Oh, you should see the look I'm getting.
Right, we're going for it.
Yeah, go on, go for it. That's probably going to be Mum, can you answer that one? Because I know that song from listening to Junior Choice on Christmas Day. So. Did you not like that?
No, Machine didn't.
Machine didn't? Why did Machine not like it? You're going to change your mat to a sticky one.
Stickier.
Who said about using a sticky mat?
Words off.
Did we not say Tracy? It's not Christmas without that song, is it? Hmm. You could always cut that one out though and use it as a reversing stamp. So if you need to do like reflections. Yep, you have, Carol.
What's that?
You got me going.
Right, let's see if we can do any better this time. The tack seems to be a little better on this map, so hopefully. If I turn it down a bit, because it seems to be cutting that off too. Sorry.
Yeah, now you've really got me going cold. Now we've gone on to flipping 5 eyes.
Let's try again.
Oh dear.
Do you have the problems, Tracy, that it doesn't adhere very well, even with the mat?
Yeah, which is where Tracy said that the sticky mat was best. Use a fabric mat.
Don't even know where the fabric one is.
It's got to be in the collection down there. It fits up on the door.
I think it's on the door. I think it's in there. If you want to have a look. Well, it's actually when it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying tape it down with washi. Go on, tape it down.
Let's move it in a bit more.
But yeah, if you've got it to hand, you're probably better off using the fabric mat from Artisticks because there's nothing that can budge on that.
Great one, did you?
Would you like me to resend it, group?
That's fine, I'll group them.
Okay. Yes, it does say to use the deep cut blade. On 6. And pressure is 0 normally. But we're still on what, -8?
Oh, yeah.
But proof that even if you do a test cut, it's not always perfect. There's no guarantee. You alright? Or do you want me to resend it?
Apologise if my hand's in the way, people.
Hang on, Ian. Hang on.
Just refresh your screen.
You reckon? Come on. Don't misbehave. Okay. Is that frozen for everybody else? Can you let me know? Yeah, it's frozen this end.
Which camera?
Close one, so yeah, that one. I'll just disconnect and reconnect the camera. Okay.
Is that okay again?
Yeah. Oh, that's the good cable.
Yeah.
That's why they're not sending another one. There we go. We will be back in probably about 30 seconds, but by the time you hear me say that, we'll already be back. There we go.
I'll wait just till it comes back.
Yeah, it should be back now, Ian. Yeah, it's okay now.
Okay. Okay. So
It's okay, the camera froze, so we had to disconnect and reconnect it.
we've stuck it down with tape. We've moved the design into the middle where I've stuck it down, and let's try that. So then a cut, and see where it
What? What did it do? What did it do? Come on. What's it done? What's it done to upset you? Well, it got kind of almost there-ish. I can't see how it thinks
I would
it.
say take the bounding boxes off.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think that's what's causing the issue, because you're giving it
Room to wiggle.
room to wiggle.
Okay. So, in which case then, given that it's not grouped,
It
Could
is
you-
now.
ungroup it.
Should be able to ungroup it again, shouldn't I? Because I did it on here.
Yeah. Okay, that's where that bit's gone. Your calibration's gone back off again.
No, but the thing moved.
Yeah, it's a faff. I would agree there, Carol. Unless you're going to use it for a very specific purpose. By comparison to, like I said, the silicone kit that we had. Yeah, okay, it was messy to do, but at least you ended up with a proper stamp at the end of it. As in one that you can actually recognise as being like a clear stamp. Whereas this is more like, this feels like the same material as the Cricut stamping material. And of course the Cricut had the benefit of it was literally stamping a die into it, so it wasn't having to drag it or cut through it.
I'm taking off the flower for a minute just to see if we can get...
Just do the little circle.
I'm just going to try and get that to cut the logo.
Okay, so just the PC.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you can always put a square around after. I think you might struggle even to do that. No, and like I said, it's like they've taken something that's on the market that was meant for something else.
It just doesn't work.
To get it to... There we go. Well, at least we're being honest with people that, you know.
It just does not work. On the settings they recommend, it does not work. Yes, it can cut the square out. It says square, it can do that perfectly, and it can cut the original square out.
Well, I wouldn't say perfectly, but
well,
perfectly is pushing it. Because I don't know if you noticed this, Tracy, but when it cuts, you get like a wonky, roundy corner, and
because it moves. It's not rigid enough.
Yeah, but each corner of that square is slightly like bent is the best way I can describe it, because you can't even say it's a rounded corner because it's only rounded on one edge.
Because, okay, if I just put that back to the overhead camera quickly, that's the PC it's trying to cut. You can see it did the C quite alright, but as soon as it gets up here and it just
loses it,
it just crumples up is the issue. I mean, they show the word hello being cut and being stamped in their example, but I can't see how it would even manage that, because it can't cope with a simple C and a P, and it is purely just not the actual material just doesn't stick enough. It's not rigid enough, it's just too flimsy to cut.
Yeah. As I said, it's meant for die cutting. So it's meant to have that kind of vertical
pressure
to cut, rather than it being dragged, and it stretches.
Yeah. Well, that's what, happens instantly. As soon as you try and cut with it.
So no, Tracy, it's not you. Not at all.
It's a flaw on their half. I'm sorry, brother, but that is a complete waste of a kit.
Is the Cricut one still in here, or is it in the lounge?
Oh, the Cricut pack.
Hmm.
Yes.
Let's try the Cricut one, shall we?
No, but Cricut's a Cricut, isn't it?
Oh, come off it.
That's it, isn't it?
How often do we use Cricut stuff in the... Yep, that's
the same stuff though, isn't it?
No, oh, ooh, hooey. Couldn't mind me. That smells well. Yeah.
Wow.
Like it has a very naughty habit. That's what I'll say.
Perhaps the person who owned it did. It's my mum owned that.
Yeah, it came from my mum. Mum definitely doesn't want to do that.
So I'm using that on the scan and cut to try and cut out.
Yeah, and it says use the deep cut blade with a blade depth of 4.5 for the Cricut.
Okay, so I'll lower the blade on this because it doesn't look as
Speed of 3 and a pressure of 4. Ensure the cut is no larger than your acrylic block.
Yeah, well, we know that, so let's have a go. Let's see what we can do.
Can you not smell it? It is that, isn't it? It's not just suddenly getting a blast from somewhere.
Does it have a cut side or not? Is it just a... Does it say?
Nope, just literally just says cut. For best results, use a fresh mat, so sticky as possible.
Right. It appears to that better than the other one, but as we're working on the side of caution.
So, for starters, the Cricut one sticks better, so... Might even see if we can get some more if it's any good.
So I've lowered my blade. I mean, pressure's already first. On -8, so I mean, you know.
It's actual plastic of the wrapper and it smells. How weird is that?
I wish the cameras were still okay on that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still okay.
Right, so, erring on the side of caution, I've stuck the damn thing down with tape. Given that, you know, this is me doing it, and yeah, should have done it in the first place. So let's swap it to the other camera. Let's just drop it back a minute and let's background scan it and make sure catch my deer.
It could have done a decent job with that one if it had just cut it out so it was like the negative out of it. And you could have used it like a shadow.
So,
and we could have excused the corners.
I'm just cutting the PC, I'm not cutting the box around it. Okay?
Yeah. And you check the blade against the material.
I've lowered it down to 3.
Okay.
So, yeah, like
oh well, if it goes through the mat, it goes through the mat, doesn't it?
Unfortunately, we don't, man. You can get you another one.
Yeah. That's weird. You're only just moving it on the screen as you've just finished cutting it on there. Delay. Okay, how is it done?
Well,
so just take the P and the C out and then you can cut a square around the outside of it then, can't you?
it hasn't come through.
Hasn't gone through. Okay, so do it again.
This is why you start lower and work your way up. So I'll put it up to 4.
It'd be weird if it is actually 4.5.
I'll try it again. Moved it up in that, so. Open the window.
Yeah. the difference is, I would say the Cricut one's like denser, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas the Brother one's quite stretchy, warps quite easily, and that's just on my little test cut piece. So if you think about it, if you're sticking it to a stamp block and then giving it a good scrub to clean it, it's going to be quite an easy.
It looks like it has cut it, but
Tracy says, why don't we try die cutting it?
yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Which one?
The Brother one. Well, yeah, either. So
it has cut, but it hasn't cut through. But when it was cutting, it was struggling because it was lifting a bit.
okay. So try a different design, move it over a bit. Yeah, and
Let's try the flower.
yeah,
And just
try the
see.
flower. Nice, simple, boring, but you know. Yes, I agree, Tracy. It's very much worth a shot. Rather than people having these things and then going, well, I don't know
Right,
if it's
Leave
worth
it out
keeping
from
it
the
or
crowd.
chucking it out.
I mean, at the end of the day, at the moment, the only thing this is worth having for is the extra designs. That's pushing it. Sorry, brother, but I don't think much of your designs are the best of times.
That's only because you have me, though, to design whatever you want.
Yeah, even so. I think this might need some PTFE on it.
Is it slipping, is it?
I don't know whether it's because of what we're trying to cut or if it's. Yeah.
Mm. Tracy says they're only basic designs too. Well,
Okay.
you wouldn't want to have anything complex to cut out of this stuff, I don't think.
I'm going to take the outside edge off.
It's definitely one of those where you want to make sure you've got your 3mm all the way around.
Actually, cut that one first. That might work better.
Got a circle then flower
How can that be off the fucking map?
language.
Apologies, people.
Has it even cut it? Hasn't, has it?
Cut your washi tape, lovely.
I don't have a deep cut blade. So the answer is, well, yes, it holds its shape better. It doesn't cut any better.
No, so let's try dye instead. Let's run it through a.
So take a pick of a die. I don't think there's one floating around. I'll put them all away because I was good. There's something in there, but I don't think it's silicone, Tracy.
So let's go back to the overhead. I'm just taking you.
If it had anything in it, I'd have to say it was probably a bit of faux leather. Played a bit rocky, but again, shouldn't expect that to hinder it much. So,
So let's clear some space over here.
it has already got some PTFE tape on it.
Is it?
Mm-mm.
Find a die. Bear with me a sec. What was that? What are you laughing at now?
I gotta wash your mouth out with soap and water. Good job, Lily Grace has gone home. I'll try him off afterwards, Carol. I always do.
I did apologise. I'm sorry. It wasn't intentional.
But yes, both are pretty rubbish. I'd agree with you there. So, well, theoretically you can cut your own stamps with it. I can't say I will be recommending it. So much so I don't think that I would even... I don't think I'd even put it in a book.
No.
Except to maybe say, don't bother. Oh, what's going on now? Hang on. Hang on. Okay, it says it's okay this end. Can you give a wave, please? Yeah. Okay, so it's not this end. Oh, flipping Facebook, honestly.
It's back.
Can you just wave? Carol, let me know if you can see. Because it's about...
So that should give a wave in a minute.
Anyway, do you want me to pick a...
No, I picked two.
Ooh, gone for stitch effect on both. That could be interesting. Question is, which die cutting machine are you going to try it on? Brave.
Why?
Because it's thicker material.
It should be alright.
Okay. You heard that, didn't you, Carol? He says it's going to be alright.
So.
Apparently the rocket ship just appeared out of nowhere.
Yep.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
The delay is really bad today though, so if it sounds like it's taking me ages to respond to comments, that is why.
Okay, so bottom sheet plastic. Rocket.
You're going to miss out the magnet just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably a good call that. We'll see how it goes.
Turn me on, have you?
Yeah.
Anybody any good prayers?
Okay, let's try that again. And do you know what? Put the magnet in.
It didn't cut.
It didn't cut. So even that didn't work.
Okay, magnetic shim.
In actual fact, I go so far to say, is it just about to scratch the surface? This is good. So, move your die. No, leave the plastic. Put the plastic back. That's it. Then the magnet. Then the die. Then the stamp material.
We're going to try somewhere different.
Yeah. God blimey, don't have.
So this is the Cricut one first that we're trying.
Yep.
In case people are wondering which one it is that we're...
It's the smelly one.
So, ready to catch.
Don't die, make me strong enough. Oh my. Giddy giddy.
You tell me it didn't actually cut.
It didn't cut. So if even that cut. What are you drinking?
Fizzy Vimto. Well, Vimto cordial and some lemonade.
Okay. No, it didn't cut. It kind of got through in some places, almost, but it's almost like as you went through it. Yeah. Imagine trying to die cut a self-healing cutting mat, and it's like it's cut underneath itself somehow. It's really weird. So if you put your finger through it, you can see it goes back on itself. So imagine like the world's worst paper cut where it's gone on an angle.
That's weird.
So it is literally like a self-healing mat.
It's uncuttable.
What I will do off stream is I'll test it out with, I've got some mixed media dies and see if it needs the extra cutting depth, because yeah, that is, oh boy, oh no. It's usually banned from using knives in the craft room.
It does cut. But that's it. I mean, that's probably the sharpest thing we have in here.
Yeah.
And the most lethal.
Yeah. Please put the cap back on it
carefully. To get
carefully.
that to cut, I had to put quite a bit of pressure on that to get through it.
Right, try the brother one.
Try a real one.
I can see me attacking these sheets and things with scissors to be able to use it, to be honest.
I mean, nice clean cut when it did cut. But, yeah, you can have that one.
Thank you, you're so kind.
I know. Oh, I need my cutting mats back, please.
There you go. It is frustrating because they sell these things that, you know, it's supposed to be that they've done all this work. Not that the end user should be doing the work. It should be a case of pulling it out of the box and it working.
Works.
But there again, isn't that just the whole argument with the whole...
Oh yeah, if that was the case, we wouldn't have a job.
Well, yeah.
Let's be honest.
As I said, he's usually banned from knives, because usually if you get like a new knife in the kitchen, you can guarantee the first thing it cuts is not food.
Right, so I have my rocket ship attached. I have my metal shim in as well.
Your magnetic shim.
Your magnetic shim.
And I'll get ready to catch. That was a big fail. Yeah. But I cut it. Just wait till you see this. You can have a laugh. Because it's cut it, it's cut through it. But
It's strong. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but
hang on, let me check. That's just funny.
that's what it did.
It shrunk and it went monkey.
So,
yeah.
that is a completely useless product by Brother. I can safely say, I'm glad we didn't buy it. And apologies to anybody who did. Well, yeah. You've been had.
Yeah. In terms of die cutting it definitely didn't work. It kind of squidged. So literally, as it went through the machine, it was just curling up on itself, and yeah.
So, no, complete waste of money and not worth the effort. It's my most humble of opinion. I don't, I'm not usually negative about things. If I can get them to work, I will do my darndest to get them to work. Because I hate to think of people who've spent money on these things
not being able to use them.
And not being able to use them. Because these things aren't cheap, and at the end of the day...
We're not all made of money.
No. So...
I can't get over that. Just how that's cut out of there.
To be honest, I would not bother.
It's not marry avoid, it's definitely avoid.
I'm almost lost for words with that, because it's just...
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Bit of a downer really on that now, because I was hoping that was going to work and have a positive result, that we could actually create some nice stamps. And
yeah, because that would have been cool.
It would, and if they'd have made it work properly, I think it's a good idea. I just don't think it's been...
The execution is...
The execution on it is appalling.
The Cricut one is better.
Yeah, but it still doesn't
for the electronic cutter. And to be honest, if you had a block to mount it on, I bet you could almost stamp that rocket image, because at least it's more or less the same size as the original, if you want to do a comparison.
It's still not right though, is it?
I'll tell you what, give me a pair of scissors and I'll cut it out quick.
No, don't worry about it for now. One sheet wasted, it's not.
Well, we've only got one sheet of that one.
Have we?
Yeah, there's only one sheet in a pack.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. You got one stamp sheet and 4 acrylic blocks.
Okay. What are the acrylic blocks?
I think me and Mum use them for other things.
So, unfortunately, I would say they are not worth the money.
There's not very many things that we're that totally negative about, but
no.
We'd rather be honest. We are independent,
Yeah, we're not sponsored by anybody. We do all these reviews independently, which is why we give the honest opinion at the end of it. I would never tell you something. If I could get it to work and it works brilliantly, I would tell you that. And if I thought it was a good idea, I'd tell you that. But unfortunately, I don't. It's unlike me to find fault with things that should work, isn't it? I'm usually quite on the other side, glass
quite
half full.
Yeah.
Not half empty. But I'm quite disappointed with that. Might try the acrylic block out and the ink out later for you as well. See how that works.
Yeah, just on a
basis to see if it actually any good.
But acrylic block's an acrylic block at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Tracy says we made her feel better though.
Oh good, I'm glad we made you feel better, Tracy. And if nothing else, we probably gave you a good chuckle on the way. So,
apart from Carrie once that you come round and wash your mouth out with soap and water.
I apologise, it was a slip of the tongue.
You're usually with a bunch of lads that are far, far worse, aren't you?
Yes, yes. I am the quiet one.
Yeah, the quiet one. Yeah.
Believe it or not. Hopefully that's answered some questions for people on whether or not it's worth buying.
That's really disappointing because I had a plan in mind for the stamp after.
Yeah. It's a shame. It is a shame. Like I say, I think the idea is good, but they haven't thought through the concept very well. I think is their issue.
I'm just wondering though if we've got access to the stamp maker kit.
Don't know where it is. Could be Mum's. Could be Mark's. Don't know.
Because then at least
You wanted me to go out to Mum's anyway, didn't you? Have a nosy.
Yeah, at some point, no rush. That's really disappointing because
It is. I'm genuinely disappointed with that, and that's not right when I say that. Miffed. Anyway, on that note.
Yeah, we can't really pull that one back to a positive. I'm really sorry.
No, but on the bright side, we do still have our course on Saturday if people want to join us. Saturday and Sunday this week. We are doing a layered shadow box. So if
good news is no stamping.
yeah, no stamping involved. Lots of designing and cutting, but like I said, it's over the 2 days, so we're going to do some on the Saturday and then again on the Sunday. Which is why we put, I mean the price is £30, but it's only because it's a 2-day course, so it's £15 for each day.
Tracy says, do you want to try the fabric mat as one last effort?
I don't think it will make a difference, Tracy, because it's the actual...
It might make a difference to the Cricut one. Or how much pressure did you have to put to actually cut that Cricut
A
one?
lot.
Is he involved on Saturday and Sunday? No, that's going to be me. It's all me on that one. Ian might help out behind the scenes doing like support and stuff.
I'm doing the cameras, won't I?
Yeah.
I'll answer any comments.
But it's going to be all on me for the designing and taking you through that one.
So on that note, we're back tomorrow.
Yep. And we're doing manipulating text in the morning. So if you enjoyed the vintage this morning, it's going to be more vintage, but we're going to be looking at things like arching text and warping text and how we can do that. Then tomorrow afternoon is the big fun one. So we're doing acetate and adhesive on the scan and cut. So we're going to take our text designs from the morning and we're going to create something a bit special in the afternoon. So you will be needing some thick acetate, such as the Paper Mania one. I'm sure I can put up a link in a bit because I know you can get that from Amazon. And either, or all of the above if you have them, foil, vinyl which has a kind of mirrored or chrome finish, and possibly some glass pens or Sharpies depending on which holders you've got. So if you've got the Sharpie pen holders you can grab a Sharpie. And yeah, poor Ian looks so depressed over in the corner. Oh. It's not your fault.
No, I know. I'm so annoyed with it for the fact it didn't work.
It's the nature of the beast, obviously.
It's too flimsy.
Yeah. But it's only consolation. Tracy says it doesn't stamp very well either. If it makes you feel any better.
The trouble is that's just bad on Brother, isn't it? Because if they're going to make a product that they claim you can stamp with and cut on your machine, then you should at least be able to do that with it.
Easily.
Yeah. I mean, they say, if I'd have had that on pressure of 0...
You'd have gone through the
Gone
maths.
through the math. I know my machine, I wouldn't have put that up to 0 for that.
No. And the trouble is, not everybody does know their machine.
No.
Certainly not when they're moving to a deep cut blade.
Anyway, we should be back tomorrow at 11.
Yeah.
And we'll see you then.
Yeah.
Hopefully in a better mood.
So Carol says you have 10 out of 10 for effort.
Oh, thank you.
So well done. And Tracy says it didn't work in Australia or the UK, so don't blame yourself.
No, like I said, it's brother that annoys me with it because they sell this product as what should work, and it's just bad marketing on their behalf.
Now the question is, should we bother to keep it up on YouTube or not, or should we just take it down and just
leave it up and actually shows that it doesn't work? Because at the end of the day, if people are buying this product, I might change the product to say the title to say "product fail."
Carol said she's never used a deep cut blade.
Never.
Never.
God blimey.
She's gonna have fun next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so next week I'm looking at unusual materials. So I literally went through Amazon and picked anything that was 2mm.
So going to need deep cut
Yes.
next week.
Yes, so hopefully, excuse me, fingers crossed, we'll
Oh, you know what?
have some fun.
Tracy put.
It's our call whether we leave it up or not.
We'll have a think. Anyway, thank you all very much. Sorry it didn't have the results we were hoping for. Or did it? Yeah. Didn't have the results we were expecting, yeah. Like I said, we will see you all tomorrow at 11.
Bye!